This meeting is being recorded. Very good. Thank you, Siri Zoom. I don't know if that lady had a name or something. So, Marc, appreciate you jumping on. I know you got some crazy things going on there. It's just really amazing stuff on the financing for coaches, particularly. So that's why I was like, dude, I need to talk to this guy because
Yeah,
a lot of my friends are coaches and consultants, and they do all that high ticket stuff. And this solution solves a lot of problems. And then it also opens up a whole wider opportunity for people. So, with that being said, everybody, this is Marc, the guy that you need to speak to if you want to make more money, because he's going to help you make more money.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, you are the founder of Coaching Finance or Coach Financing, right?
Yes, correct. Yep,
And you help finance high ticket offers, point blank, period.
absolutely. Yep,
How
for
did you get
sure.
started? Because this is a big need.
Yeah, it's a huge need that we notice. So I've been in the payments business. Gosh, this is my 26th year in payment processing, and we work with a lot of coaches, business to business coaches, as well as business to individual coaching. And so the payment side, we've been in it for a really, really long time, and I've got about 800 salespeople that work for us in that company that we manage across the United States. And we'll process over $1 billion this year in payments. And about 10 years ago, we noticed that a lot of our customers needed financing. So we kind of got into the brick and mortar stuff, your normal auto repair, jewelry, home improvement. And as we started to put on more coaches, we realized coaches had no real option in most cases to finance their products other than telling somebody, hey, go apply for a loan somewhere or see if you can get the money. Let me know when you get it. And they had no visibility into what was happening, and they really didn't have any sources for funding. So we started to talk to our banks that we work with on the traditional stuff. And I would classify coaching as non-traditional financing because there's usually not a physical product passing hands in most cases. So you're really financing just that service. And it's really difficult to find banks that are willing to step up to finance just a service rather than a durable good like a car or an appliance or a piece of jewelry. So we started doing a lot of research and we started Coach Financing in 2019. Uh, we were in the financing about 8 years. We've been doing financing in general for around 10 years. So we know the business really well and just started researching and talking to some of our banks and lenders and finally put one platform together that we began with. And now we've got 3 or 4 different lenders based on the needs of our coaches, the sizes of our tickets, and what the credit profile of each coach looks like. So that's kind of how it came together. And we've got all those relationships built, and we're still trying to add more on because we get a lot. You wouldn't believe what people coach. Well, you probably would since you're a coach, but it's crazy what people do these days for coaching from, B2B to individual to spiritual to relational management, children, knitting. You wouldn't believe the stuff that we see out there. So we're just trying to put as many programs together to help as many coaches as we can so they can help as many clients as they can.
Got it. So
Yeah.
to make it real clear and simple to everybody that's listening, you guys help finance their high ticket. So if somebody has a program for 10,000, they'll be able to come to you, be your like the in-house kind of financing department, where the prospect, if they don't have the 10,000 to drop up front, they can still apply and then probably pay much lesser, right? So they get financing, just like a car, financing a car, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, it works that. So we give you, depending on what product, and I won't dig down there because it'll get confusing, but on our core product on our website, we give you your own landing page, we give you your own link, and you just send your customer to that link. They instantly get approved or declined. We do a soft credit pull.
yeah,
And what we do on that platform on the top end is we will go from what we call like near prime credit all the way up to prime credit, up to 50,000, 1,000 to $50,000 on the ticket. And let me qualify that by saying, because these are unsecured loans. So for somebody to get a $50,000 unsecured loan, they've got to be, super strong credit and debt to income ratio and all that. But we normally see 10 to 15, 20, 25,000 with good credit, near credit, not an issue to get people approved. And those happen instantly. So we run that soft pull. It doesn't hurt their credit. Now you as a coach can log into a reporting portal and you can see what offers have been sent out to your customers, or you can even do it with them over the phone on a Zoom meeting or over the phone and get that instant approval right there, and then follow through with depending on the bank, what the process is to get the fund started. And I think you hit the nail on the head. What we want to do and why financing is so popular is we want the benefit of the product now, and we want
Right.
to be able to pay for it over time. And that's kind of what financing really breaks those payments down.
Yeah.
And coaches, if you're selling high ticket, and I've done some coaching myself years ago, and I've written a couple books too, and some things
Nice.
like a lot of you probably listening. But if I had a $5,000 or $10,000 program, my programs are normally 25 to 50. Uh, it's very hard if they're not a larger business to come up with that cash up front or to hand you that credit card. So this really helps you deal with that objection. I don't have the money. Your price is too high. I can't afford it. So we can break them down, and we've got rates as low as 7.99% on up out to 60 months. So we can really, there's a calculator on their page, so they can just kind of click what size your package is, and it'll give you a range of what the payment would be.
Wow.
And really, really make it affordable for them. And they can pay it off early if they want, or, we do a lot of Facebook type coaching and ad coaching. So, a lot of them say, look, once we get your ads going, you're going to make so much additional revenue. Go ahead and get the loan for 4 or 5 years. But if that revenue is streaming in, just pay it off in 3 months, pay it off in 4 months, and then you won't have to worry about paying the interest on the loan.
Yeah. Now,
So that's our main product.
yeah, yeah. What other? That's for the near prime and prime, right? And then what's
That's
the?
for near prime and prime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What are
So
other
the
products?
next step,
Yep.
yeah. And what's cool is we have like a waterfall. So we've got near prime and prime, say down to about a 620 score, 630 credit score. That covers most of the people in the United States. I think the average score is like a 653 or something. It's gone up since COVID because a lot of people aren't spending and they're not leaving their houses. They're just buying online a lot,
Yeah.
but the credit utilization has gone down. And then you have people that might have some challenge credit or bruised credit. And we have subprime financing down to the low 500s. And then we have an in-house financing 100% approval program for some coaches. So I'll give you a case study. We've got a coach that sells a local marketing program for small businesses, right? And these are personal loans, by the way. So we do some business loans, but most of these loans, it's a sole proprietor. He's going to sign a personal loan, right? And the package is $3,495. Well, this group does quite a bit in these packages. They do about 500,000 a month in sales. So they're a big group. They have a big funnel. They have a lot of ad spend, but they were getting about 40 or 50% of those 34.95 packages either declined with who they were using, or the business owner said, I don't have the money up front. I want to finance it. So we put together a program for them where we approved 100% of everybody that applied on the 34.95, and we structured it where we shared some risk with them, but we gave them some upfront money on the finance contract. And then as the contract paid out, we even did a revenue share with that coach on those contracts. So he was able to say, no matter who you are, I can get you approved, guaranteed 100%. So we can kind of structure with our banks some customization, or even on the subprime, we can get you instantly approved, get the coach the full funding. So they're getting that cash flow because you spent ad money, you're trying to fill up your funnel.
Yep.
We'll get you some upfront funding without liability, which is a very important thing. You don't want to have to be liable if your customer's not making that fifth or sixth or seventh payment. So we can relieve you from the liability. The banks do take a chunk or a discount rate out of that. So it depends on the program and the credit profile, but it really helps you accelerate your sales and gives you that cash flow to spend it on ads and marketing.
Nice.
So we
So
handle it all
yeah,
levels.
that's what it sounds like. That's what I said. I'm curious how the first coach that you guys worked with in this particular program, how that came about, and what kind of obstacles that you guys had to kind of work through, the kinks and stuff.
We had a lot of challenges in the
Yeah.
beginning years ago. Now, since we had so many coaches on payments, we had a pretty big pool of people that we could work with in a beta environment. So we
Okay.
had probably 30 new coaches pretty quickly. We're over 200 now, and we've only publicly launched this for, gosh, maybe 90 days. So we already have over 200, and we've got, I think, 200 or 300 that we're working with. So we wanted to take it kind of slow before we went to somewhere like a ClickFunnels or something
Yeah.
and really blew it up. But I'm lucky enough to work with some of those people that have very large groups that this would be a great benefit for. But we want to make sure it works the way it's supposed to before we really expand it. So the challenges in the beginning, of course, were one, educating a coach to understand how to communicate financing.
Mhm.
And we put together a really great PDF. You can download it on our website. It's called the Golden Offer. And it really talks about your price is too high objection and how you deal with that objection as a coach. And I don't know if you run across this, but a lot of the coaches I talk to, they're not really salespeople, right?
Yeah.
They're people that want to help others. They want to be of service. They want to make an impact in their lives, but they're not salespeople. And oftentimes they don't really charge what they're worth. And this really gets you around that. Oh, I don't have the money. You're too expensive, or being able to charge what you're worth. So we put that PDF together, but that was the first challenge, was just getting them used to introducing a payment plan. And really on the other end with our banks, we found out because we've got a couple platforms where we can go out to multiple banks
Mm.
instead of you like going to like a lending tree or lending
Yeah.
club or one at a time having your customer apply. We can go out to 9 or 10 at one time, but we had to educate the banks too on coaching and really figure out which banks wanted a coaching loan and didn't want a coaching loan, and really eliminate those banks from our mix so we didn't get declines, because you
Yeah.
don't want to get an approval and then when they go to do the loan they say, oh, we're going to end up declining it because it's a coaching
Yeah.
or vocational type loan. So and we're always working on improving that. So for instance, we just added, gosh, I think it's like 16 0% interest credit cards that you as a coach can now offer too. So we have the loan, but you might have a $25,000 ticket. Maybe they're approved on a loan for 13,000. They might not get the whole 25. Maybe you get 4 or 5,000 down on a credit card, but you have a gap in funding of 5,000. So we've got 14 or so personal credit cards as well as business credit cards to help them build their business credit, and almost all of them have 0% terms. So if they've got near prime credit, they can go out and get a 12-month same as cash. Our best offer is an 18-month 0% credit card
Yep.
that they can apply for. And when the downfall is they have to wait till the card gets in the mail,
Yep.
but they could get that 13,000 up front, get that $5,000 credit card, give them 30 days to fill in the gap and apply for those cards, and then they can charge it when they receive the card in the mail at 0% interest. So all that's included in our program.
Wow.
So we've added all those 0%, as well as we have the subprime option. That typically we don't introduce till we look at your loan volume and see if you're getting declines. Maybe your demographic is challenging. So it really depends on the coach. We've got a couple that do like educational, and the demographics, an early 20s,
Mm.
a male, typically early 20s, and some of them haven't established a lot of credit yet.
Yep.
And it's hard to get somebody with very little credit approved for a $10,000 or $15,000 loan. Now we can do a co-signer with their parents, of course, but we have our other programs that'll kind of meet that demographic and get them approved on those subprimes. We'll look at the limited credit person as well.
Yeah.
So we've got kind of something for everybody.
Right. So does it happen automatically? So let's say the young, fresh out of college, not a lot of credit, when they apply, they don't meet the best criteria, right? But then they fall into the subprime. Does somebody have to review the file and then make the determination like, well, you actually fall in the subprime, or does it happen automatically through your software?
It happens so what we do first is set you up on the primary program, unless you tell us you're dealing with a challenged demographic. And as we review your applications, we'll give you a call. So every coach is assigned an account representative here in Houston that'll work with you. So once you're set up, you'll get trained and you'll get a demo of the system. And then you have a resource page where you have your walkthroughs and everything you need to know. But once we see you're getting rejects, we'll give you a call and say, look, if you qualify, because those are direct funded banks. So some of the criteria is you have to be in business like a year, you have to be a certain size. So it's a little bit more difficult. On our main program, everybody gets approved, right? Everyone gets approved. So you don't have to worry about it. If you're a coach, you're going to get approved for our main program. And then we kind of dig in on those rejects. And once we get you set up there, it can be an automatic process where they're declined, and then we'll reroute you to a new URL, which will let them apply and get an instant approval there. One thing I'll mention is we have another program called Amplify, and this is for our really big groups and high ticket coaches. So a lot of times we had a hair extension academy we worked with, did millions of dollars a year. So they would teach these hairdressers how to weave the hair extensions and sell the hair extensions. And the academy was $15,000, right? And a lot of hairstylists know zero about credit, right? And the company didn't really want to have to educate them on credit. So what we did is put them in our Amplify program. And when they got to the stage where it was time to pay for the tuition, if they didn't have the money, on their credit card or up front, they would just send them over to us and they'd fill out a simple form. It would come into our team. We would call the hairstylist that was looking to get into the academy, and we'll do a credit profile with them. And we'd sit down with them and say, hey, walk them through what's your income look like, your debt ratio. And we could pull a soft pull and then put the program together for them on behalf of the academy and say, look, it looks like you're going to qualify for a loan here. Maybe we get a credit card here, and then we have another program here so we can make sure you get the best rates and you can get that $15,000 in tuition put together for the academy. And that's called Amplify. We're really testing that now with four pretty large groups, and it's working pretty smoothly. And we'll probably open that up to anyone with a high ticket here in the next 90 days. So on your resource portal, once you get signed up, you just fill out a little form. It'll come in. We'll know it came from you as that coach into the Amplify, and one of our representatives will give them a call and help them out as best as we can.
Wow. So that's an added benefit, because now the coaches will have a real person. So it's not like the regular, 0% pre-approval soft pull online where it just automatic, like, okay, it doesn't work. But you'll have an actual person, right, that reads the profile and then start strategizing with the client, right?
Yes. Do it for you. Financing is kind of what we're really focused on, getting to that point where that is seamless. Now we're not there on the technology side yet, because a lot of these banks are on legacy software. So that will build together, but we have it where we can do it ourselves pretty rapidly. So we can get them set up and have a profile and get approvals in a couple hours by the time we speak to them. So it's a pretty quick process. We certainly want to automate it as much as we can once we get the software teams together. But yeah, it's really great for those coaches that don't want to maybe have to say, I can't get you approved, because there is a certain amount of people, regardless of what finance companies we have, that, just maybe they're currently past due or they had an issue that we won't be able to get over right now. And we can certainly refer them out to some credit repair people. We don't do any type of credit repair here, but we can refer them out, work on getting that credit score up so they can apply and start to build their credit back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, why would a coach not use you guys?
I don't know why they wouldn't want to use us. The only time would be if I'll give you an instance, and I'm not going to try to like sell against myself, but we've had a couple coaches that just worked with businesses only, and they invoiced and worked on purchase orders, and they had no problem getting paid. That might be a case where maybe you would want to use this for your payment processing, but
Right,
there isn't really a need for financing, right? But in most cases, if you're doing any volume whatsoever, I mean, if we got you one new client every couple months on a $5,000 or $10,000 high ticket program, we're gonna pay for ourselves for the entire year on that first customer, more than pay for ourselves
right,
with that first customer. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. It just makes sense. And you can determine when you insert financing in the conversation. So if you want to have a link on your website, they can pre-apply before they even call in for their first coaching
oh,
session, or maybe you don't even mention financing and you go for the credit card, and as a last resort, you add financing towards the tail end of your conversation. It's really up to you where you want to introduce financing. But I think we're going to see more live events starting to happen. So right now, all
yeah,
this can be done via, if you're doing webinars and you're having people apply via webinar, you can send them your link, see the reporting. It works really great for online, but this also works really well in a live environment too. And we're seeing some of our customers starting to be planning events and live events here this year. And we really look forward to, maybe attending some of those shows with them and
yeah,
helping them process some of their clients and getting them into their coaching programs.
nice,
Mhm.
nice, nice. Will this work for companies that do recurring billing? Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's any kind of vocational trade, certification schools, coaching, B2B. If they want to sign a personal loan, we do have business loans up to 5 million. So I didn't want to kind of get off track, but if you're dealing with business owners,
yeah,
we can get credit lines and we can help fund larger projects. But if they're the challenge on the reoccurring, I'll give you another case study. We have a group here in Texas that has, I think, 5 or 6 thousand business coaches that he works with. Well, these business coaches usually work on retainer. So let's say that I'm going to hire you as my coach. Normally, it's a 2,000 a month retainer for 12 months, which is $24,000.
yeah,
What was happening to the business coach is 3 months into it, 4 months into it, they don't want to continue with the coaching program, right? Or they're not, in many cases, our clients really aren't doing the work
yeah,
that they need to do
yeah,
in order to yield the benefit, right? So they had a lot of people that wanted to get out of the business program month 3, month 4, month 5. So they've just lost, if it's month 5, they've lost 7 months of revenue, which is $14,000. So by offering financing, what they did is they went in and said, look, it's 2,000 a month for 12 months. If you pay me now, I'll discount that to 19,500 for the year. And they got them to finance that program up front, get the coach the whole 19.5 up
yeah.
front. So
Ah,
now he doesn't have to worry about chasing payments, the reoccurring billing, them getting out of the program. He's got cash flow. It's improved his cash flow, and it's a win-win for everybody involved. So really, if you're doing reoccurring billing, having to chase payments, it is a good model. If you want to do a 3-pay, I always tell people, if you can do a 3-pay, do a 3-pay. You may not need our financing, but a lot of times people will commit to things and not follow through with it. So
yeah,
try to get as much of that cash up front that you can. And
yeah,
we can even build an in-house finance program as well. If you're a coach doing your own reoccurring, but you're having that challenge with expired credit cards, getting payment, people
okay,
dropping, we've got loan servicers, if the volume's high enough, where we can do the whole thing for you and actually service the loan, collect the payments, and we can allow you, since we're with the banking institution, we can allow you to charge interest on the loan, and
mm,
you can participate
mm,
in some of the revenue on the interest on the loan. So, that would be someone I'd recommend billing at least probably 50,000 a month. So it's a little bit of a larger organization,
Yeah.
but we can certainly put that in place if you're dealing with a lot of headaches and you want to accelerate that cash. And we'll even buy that contract out. If it's a 12 or 24 month, if they made 5 payments in a row, we'll buy it from you so we can accelerate your cash in month 6
Yeah.
as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All your experience from the prior payment, sir, because you still have that running, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
get
We'd
to
love to do
apply
your
all
payment
that.
business too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's like the dream, right? Where you can apply all of your previous experience and then roll it into something new and turn that into some profitable venture. So that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just trying to let you do what you do best, right? Which is coaching, consulting, whatever your niche is, and then letting the payment stuff take care of itself. And a lot of our payment partners are using someone like a Stripe, which Stripe is great,
Yeah.
especially in the beginning. But what happens sometimes, you get those really big tickets, they grab your money, they hold your money.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're on a 5 to 7 day funding till you get your money. So we can get people money, within next day or 48 hours. We have a live support. Our processing partner does, I think they did 58 billion last year. So they'll get them their money quickly, and there's a live person to call if you have an issue, and can set you up with all the reoccurring stuff. And we do a lot of backup accounts too. Maybe somebody's doing $250,000 on Stripe, and they want to diversify their risk and have a secondary payment processor just in case something happens. We do that all the time too. So it doesn't mean you have to switch or close your current account. We can just be a supplement for you or earn your business over time. But it's nice because the financing kind of flows right in. And, ultimately our coaching dashboard, we want to have the payments and the invoicing and QuickBooks integration along with the financing right there in one dashboard. So you can do it all from within one portal. That's what we're kind of developing towards.
Right. I love that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
So how quick is it for people to start, for coaches to start using you?
It takes about 24 hours. So it's quick. Once you enroll online, you just go to the link that I'm sure you'll post. But once they're online, we'll ask you for some information after checkout. As quick as you get us your logo or whatever you'd like to customize on your page, you'll get your welcome email, you'll get your credentials for your login to your reporting, and then we'll set up a training call. In the email, you'll be able to self-register the training time that meets your needs. And typically it's about a 15 or 20-minute training. It's very, very easy. You'll get the FAQs, the resources, the credit card page, live chat, live person, all that, and can get you going in about a day if it's during the week. So it's very, very quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and if it's subprime, if you have subprime or have special circumstances, they can just reach out wherever you're posting it, and we can set up a call with one of our team members, to look at their special circumstance and really see if we have something that'll meet their needs and customize it if we have to customize a solution.
Right. Because you have that in-house financing option that can cover that.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've got one new lender in 2 weeks coming on. That's another lender that will direct fund the coach. So some of these loans fund the customer, some of them fund the coach, but most of these direct lenders are going to fund the coach. So it's just like a credit card. The minute that loan's approved and they sign their documentation, you, the coach, are going to get your money within typically 48 hours. So it gives you a whole lot of control. And what's really nice is we have a couple 12-month 0% offers. So on that subprime program, we're going to let the customer, if they pay it off in 12 months, pay 0 interest.
Wow.
So it's such a good marketing tool for you to say, hey, even with usually people challenge credit have to pay very, very high rates. So in this program, we can actually give them a 12-month same as cash with challenge credit. So it just helps you sell your program that much easier. Yeah.
It allows you to help more people too.
Well, that's the idea. Absolutely. Help more, reach more people and spread the message. And what happens when you help more people? It's like my business, we get something called referrals, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best the best potential prospect you can
Right.
get is somebody referring another person. So that's kind of what we're after.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. And you're open for business for more coaches, right? Because I think,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you'll probably see us around. We're about to launch a lot of our ad campaigns. So we're in the midst of beta testing some of it. We've had really great results, but
Yes.
you'll see us. We're gonna spend quite a bit of money on advertising. So I'm sure you'll see us around. But now is the time because before it gets to
Yeah.
too many, I don't think we'll have to ever turn it off because I'll add the people that we need. But we're really getting quick turnarounds right now, and you'll get the attention that you deserve. And
Yeah.
we're always going to do that, but now's a really good time to get going before we really open up a lot of the ads.
Yeah. Good, good, good. So where can people find you, or where can they sign up?
Sign if the link that you post, they can sign up. I would put it in that Facebook group.
Yep.
So if you posted at Coach Financing and the link that you've got, and then I'll include if you need, I've got some marketing we can include for you to post in the group as well, or kind of not really salesy stuff, but more of
Yep.
an overview of how it
Yep. Yep.
works. That might be educational for everybody, but we're always here, phone, live chat, calls,
Wow.
whatever you need. We're here to help you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank
Awesome.
you for your time. I appreciate it. I think this is a huge burden lifted off of some people that's wanted to help, a certain demographic, but they just couldn't because the finances wasn't there. So it opens up a whole another world of opportunity for them. So this is going to be great. I love it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you get any, just let me know.
Yes. Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.